I'm Dan. I'm a hockey player here in Dunedin. I've just come back from China, so I did a wee tour there with the New Zealand A team. So we went over there and played about 8 games over a 2-week period. It was real good fun, real good experience. Just got back this week and yeah, trying to get back into the routine of being home, so yeah.
How are you feeling being back?
It's good. It's a lot colder. Obviously I acclimatised over there to some warmer weather, but it's actually quite nice being in a cooler place where I'm not sweating 24/7. But yeah, no, it is good. Good to be back. Good to be back in normal routine.
What was the moment you'll never forget from that sport?
Well, I scored my first goal for a New Zealand side over there. So that's definitely a moment that I'll cherish forever. You know, the feeling of seeing the ball go in the back of the net, and then just all the teammates running up to you and cheering. You know, it's got me real happy on the field, and yeah, no, that's what I play for. So.
Lining up with the fern on your chest.
Yeah, like it's one of those things where it's hard to explain, but you know, all the hard work that I've put in and all the support from my family and all that kind of stuff, it all gels into that one moment, and you realise that, you know, like it's the spot where you want to be, and everything you've worked for has led up to here, and it's time to put it all out there, and yeah, no, it's good. The level of international play over there, like it differs between nations. So like all the Asian teams we played, they play a very like different style of hockey than we do. They typically are real physical, man-to-man. They won't leave your shoulder across the park, whereas we sort of play more zonally here in New Zealand. So the big challenge was sort of adapting to how they play and figuring out ways to sort of manipulate them and get on top of them. So that's definitely probably the main challenge of heading over there. So I learned that the speed of the game is just like a step further over there, and you know, it really changes your perspective on how you play back home here, where it's a little bit slower than up there, but you know, like you have a lot less time on the ball. Your first touch and your decision making has to be like even more accurate and more spot on. So that was definitely a big little thing that I took away. No, I was pretty prepared for most of the stuff over there. I've been in that sort of heat weather, like that heat before, so I was pretty prepped for that. The one thing I wasn't really too prepped on was sort of the food that we were going to be eating. It was very different to sort of our routine that I have back here at home, so I had to adapt to that and change it up a bit and make sure I wasn't skewing too far from what I'm used to. But yeah, it's just a lot of chicken and a lot of rice for pretty much breakfast, lunch and dinner. So luckily there was a bit of toast, and some of the boys went out and bought cereal from the supermarket to stay in routine. But yeah, overall it was good. Yeah, all good. I think a big thing that separates sort of those high-end players from the rest of people is like just their speed of decision making. I mean, like they're able to figure things out on the spot within like a couple seconds of them getting the ball. They're able to plan everything they're going to do with the ball when they get it, what they're going to do next once they pass the ball on, and just their communication skills, like being able to set everything up and set the players up above you and manipulate the press of the other team to get through it. And you know, it's real technical stuff like that really separates the best from the best, sort of thing. Yeah. So off the China tour, I'm I've noticed some work-ons that I need to work on while I was over there. So a couple things that I need to sort of touch on in terms of just my technical skills to try and get me to improve even better. So from now it's just sort of dialing in on those little things, really practicing them. Hopefully they'll set me up well for nationals coming up in September, and then further on the line Premier League and all that jazz. So yeah. So like in a training environment, to try to stay sharp, you know, you want to be training in sort of the same situations that you're going to be performing in. So like heat training's a good one for me. When I was prepping for China was trying to keep extra layers on so that I'm more used to my body being quite hot. Then also just like visualizing that you're going to be in a tricky situation, like regardless whether you are or you're not, and just like being able to plan moves as if you're in that situation, you know, preps you well to when that situation actually comes around, you know, you already know what to do. And I'm really trying to dial in my attacking style of my play. So I've previously sort of been real sort of focusing on my pressing and my defensive work, my footwork, but now I need to zone in on scoring goals and technical things in the circle, shot placements, decision making, so just little things like that. So a lot of stick on ball, pretty much, yeah, so real technical. So coming up, we got NHC coming up, Nationals in September, and then after that, I really want to be selected in for the Premier League, so get another run at that. That would be really cool. And then going on to start of next year, sort of being in the same New Zealand A environment, like I was just away at. So being involved with that again will be a real big milestone, and hopefully solidify a bit of a progression point in my progress. So yeah, that's pretty much what's next.
What would it mean to you to crack all?
Oh, you know, cracking that squad will be like, I can't even imagine what that day would feel like. You know, obviously I've always wanted to play for them, and me putting all this work now, grafting away. At times I won't like it, at times I'll love it, but if I can crack that squad at the end of the day, it's all worth it. All that hard yakka, and yeah, I think it would mean the world to me, yeah. So yeah, in the next 6 months, I want to have a really good NHC. So I think last year I was a little bit nervous going into it, but this year I want to be guns blazing, you know, go into NHC and just put on my best show, and then hopefully that will lead me into a good team for PHL and get some game time in there and hopefully do well there. So yeah.
What keeps you grounded outside the game?
I'd say my mates, being around my flatmates and even all my hockey mates, you know, like we've all got a social side outside of hockey that we all get along so well in and do all these trips together and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, I think that's one thing that keeps me grounded, and I think just having a life outside of hockey as well. So I work full time, so being able to switch off and get to work and then switch on when it's hockey time, I think it's real good balance.
Boys, make sure to like and subscribe to Compound Gym YouTube. It's me. Follow for more.